Alright, I don't know if this is going to even work. Because OBS is still crap shitting, and I thought it was the internet for a minute, but it's not. So I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if we're going to make it through or not. We will see, won't we? It's just very, very weird, like, what's happening. But anyway, good morning. Hi, how's it going? Hopefully we can stay on long enough that we can actually have a good conversation, and then afterwards, I didn't plan on spending a whole bunch of time trying to figure this out, but
we might have to call them.
Yeah, if it doesn't work or continues to not work, we will start a new one. Hopefully we can stay on long enough. I expect you to take care of that beforehand. Fucker. Just kidding. Good morning, Dragon Dancer. We are hoping we can stay live today. I don't know if it's going to work or not. We keep having some issues where our internet does not, like our home internet just doesn't have upload speed for some reason. It's zero. We have plenty of downloads, so of course we're going to have to probably call Comcast and deal with all that. Well, no, Rook is going to have to deal with that this week.
You have to tell me the right wordage and terminology. You know the right wordage.
Our internet is not working, and we're paying $350 a month for our total package. They need to get it working so it's perfect again, and we're getting less than half of our service. Good morning and welcome. It feels hot now.
Hail and welcome.
Hail and welcome.
Paranormal Witch. Good morning.
Microphone's right there.
Can you hear us?
And they can hear us, I'm pretty sure. I hope.
Hope you've got your coffee, tea, mimosas.
Hope you have a cuppa.
Your beverage of choice.
Uh-huh.
For a Sunday morning.
For the Sunday morning.
I don't think they can hear us.
Can they not hear us?
Oh, excuse me.
Can you hear us? You can hear us. I'm pretty sure you can hear us. I think my stuff says you can hear us. Of course, you have an excellent connection using what 5G resources I have. We need a mic check. Can somebody say yes or no? Well, you won't say no because you won't hear me. Just say yes that you are hearing us. Okay, perfect.
Oh, sweet.
I know there's a delay too, and it's actually a longer delay right now because we are streaming through 18 different processes because for some reason our internet is shite at the moment. Well, not for some reason. I'm guessing the repairs are only there's probably more to do, which is weird though because uploading on the computer seems fine and Wi-Fi seems perfectly fine, but right now we are streaming through a cellular service, which is not my preferred method, especially considering it ain't cheap. But we do have a fun show today. Lots of news topics. We want to talk a little bit about our experience last night, which we are sad that you weren't with us, Dragon, Dancer, but I hope you were able to feel some of that energy because it was pretty kick-ass.
Nice.
Do you have a lighter, an actual lighter?
I can get one. Let me recall where I placed it lost.
Thank you. Because this one just takes forever to light the charcoal.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Of course.
But yeah, so, for some reason, again, I'm sure it's just going to take a while to get everything back exactly how we like it. Plus, thankfully I have this little iPad with its own little cell service so we can actually communicate and still have these done. I will start off by mentioning next Sunday. It is likely that we will not have Sunday service.
Yeah.
We do... we are associated with the UU Church in Fort Myers.
Churches. Ew.
We do not like going to the church portion on Sundays, which is why we actually created this service. However, Joy is going to be running the service next Sunday, and we really would like to go see her and support her in that. So we may move it later. We may, I don't know, we may do it on a Saturday even. But the Sunday service next week we will not have on Sunday at our regular time because we are actually going to physically go in to the service, which I'm kind of excited about. I enjoy it, but
I can't believe it.
But yeah, so that's that. Brooke, what books are you working on still?
Okay, so I'm still reading Lords of the Left-Hand Path, but I have begun Uncle Setnock's Essential Guide to the Left-Hand Path, and I just love it. I'm only
Told you
13 pages in.
Told you.
However, this feels like the ultimate self-help, self-guide book out there. I have a feeling it's going to address everything from diet to exercise to laziness to
It does.
a whole lot of stuff, but it's really cool, and I think it kind of gives a summary in the preface. The Left-Hand Path, or this book is an essential guide to the left-hand path, a path which leads to one who treads it to becoming more independent, permanent, and perfect. Perfection meaning for your, yourself.
Yeah.
And
Not
it's
somebody
just
else's.
really cool. And we ordered a whole bunch of books. Thanks, little tree sap, for part of it.
Yeah, if we see her in here, we have to yell at her again.
No, I'm grateful, and we'll show, if we can get this camera working, we'll show the 4 books that I ordered last week and got in.
Let's test it.
See, okay, it looks.
The box is a little crooked. You can correct that, but yeah, it works. So the other way. Yeah, perfect. All right, so we're just testing that out. Hi, yeah, we're here. We're just getting our last pieces set up. Well, you know what? We might as well go video. Why not?
Why not?
I mean, we're already doing shit.
I prefer black t-shirts for their slimming qualities. What?
Nothing. No comment. Yeah, so definitely Left-Hand Path. Uncle Setnock's guide. Oh, we forgot to link it. I was supposed to do that last time.
Oh.
You can put it there. So let's. This is the book. Oh, it's sunny.
Oh, it's not gonna show.
Angle it. Just up, like bend it up. Yep. There you go. Uncle Setnock's Essential Guide to the Left-Hand Path.
Should be called Essential Guide to Life.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it's really good. It's not a huge book, if you can see. Let me see if I can show
116 pages, I believe. 117 pages.
Yeah.
Maybe 118. So, one of the things that I really, 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 really enjoy about this book is, like Rook said, it's really about life in general. Now, I feel like any and all other paths can branch off from this. Like, this really can, like, so my lower paths, my paths that I have set and that I've already practiced and that I feel expert in paganism, as far as expert in my own path and how I manage it, I like how I manage my path. This is going back in and kind of realigning some of those bottom pieces to that, which I think is really freaking cool, and it was very unexpected. So yeah, and that's really kind of the neatness to it, I think. Yeah, it is good, and I, like I said, you can apply it to any, really anything, any path, any process. You know, you don't, like anything else, you don't have to do everything that it says exactly how it says, but ultimately having that process is really cool to me. Like I don't know, I can't talk enough about this particular book because you don't have to be left-hand path to get something significant out of it. I'm looking out front, and I believe we planted a mango tree. Is that right? We did a mango tree. It looks like it's might be budding, and then the one of the beautyberry bushes is budding also. It's got lots of green on it. Not budding, but lots of green on it. So anyway, sorry. Just happened to look out the window. So, Uncle Setnock, I don't know exactly how you say it.
Setnock.
One of the many things that I have marked off in here is vices and virtues of initiation. The vices, so these again can apply to anything. Vices, so these are things that you are studying yourself for. You're willing to admit that you have these, and you can work through some of these. Not all of them, but some of them. Narcissism, hubris, forgetfulness of path orthodoxies. This one was really important to me because we've been talking about it a lot lately. with issues at UU and organized religion in general, the victim of the religious bigot will become a religious bigot. There's a lot to unpack in that sentence. The victim, first of all, of the religious bigot will become religious bigot. The former Christian will come to believe in a loving Prince of Darkness. The former skeptic will disbelieve even the results of his own magic and preach against it. The LHP initiate will test whether or not he or she is showing the bad thought patterns of their past. So, you have to, before you work through that part of shadow or vice, you have to come to terms with your process first. And that's what Left Hand Path, this book, does. Again, you can apply it to anything, I think. I love this will likely be my number one book. If I ever tell anybody you ever have to read something, this would probably be it. Like, if you only had one book left that you could read, this would be the one.
Are we frozen?
No, that's paused.
Okay.
Because I don't want to use resources on the cellular service. V, hello! How's it going?
Mimosas, yes. Oh, yes.
Mimosa.
Cheers.
Sure. He's going to cheers to you, but not me, and I'm sitting beside him. Too late, bitch. That'll get us kicked off of YouTube.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, my God. Glad I didn't do what I was wanting to.
Really?
I'm just kidding.
Nasty ass. Well, since you started the book and then I started that book, I'm going to tell you the second book that I'm reading. Heather knows this one.
Let me display it for you.
The Way of Fire and Ice. I'm slowly making through it. I'm about, I'd say 15 to 20% in. And it too... Hold on, I'm going to switch over so you can see this one. And it too is a very, very significant book in that if you like or are interested in Norse paganism, really, really excellent way to get into that and to have that path work for you because just the openness of it and the clarity of it has been very, very comforting to me. Now, of course, everybody's going to have their own path. Maybe people do and do not like it. Neither here nor there, but for me, that has been a very significant, I think, book for reading. So huge, huge, huge positive. Now, in keeping with our thing of sharing a little bit from the books that we're reading, right now I'm really interested in reading and rereading this little section in here about the spirits of Norse paganism, which is, there's the Veit, which are the spirits of pretty much everything, right? Everything has an essence. Whether it's physically made and created or anything at all, it has an essence. And it's called Veit. And then that collection of essence as a whole is the Veitir. I could be saying it wrong. I'm reading the pronunciations. I could screw it up very easily. But this goes really far into animism and having that idea that what you do affects what other things are happening and going. And, a tree is a living being that must be respected, revered, and honored. And this is the most important piece for me, simply for being alive. So then when you think of things that are maybe not an animate object, they also have an essence according to Norse, radical Norse paganism anyway in this book. And I never thought that way. But, well, that's a lie actually. I have considered that before and I have not rejected it, but I have not, have not explored into that. We talked on one of our, I don't know if it was one of our shows or maybe I don't even know when it was, about nests and whether nests are natural, right? So a bird makes its nest in a tree utilizing tools and things around it to make its nest where it will rear its child, its babies, its eggs, and get them to fruition. And then, it will roost in the nest and that kind of stuff. So our home is part of our nest. Now, our nest as a human beings is much more dynamic because our nest includes the home. The home has an essence. That was the first kicker to me. It's like, wait a minute. This radical Norse paganism makes sense, right? Because this is concrete and stucco. How does it have an essence? But it does, and there's no denying that for me. So then when you work through that possibility of an essence, it changes your kind of thought process on it. It really does, which I thought was pretty freaking cool. My chair keeps sinking. But yeah, so that's just a little glimpse in there. If anybody, I think everybody in here is people we physically know. except for paranormal, which that will happen one day. I don't know if paranormal is interested at all in the Norse paganism aspect, or if you're still looking for something. That is definitely something that's potentially doable for you. But I still would say Uncle Setnack would be the place to start if I told anybody where to start. And then you have a second book.
Oh yeah, the second book I haven't read in a minute, but that I am still reading, and then I'm going to show them the books that we got.
Okay.
But
before you do that, I'm sorry to interrupt again after I just told you to go. Huge, obviously, I'm obsessive with blends, and I know Joy. Hi, Joy. I see you in there. So I see Joy V, Dragon Dancer, Paranormal. This is a blend. This is not last night's blend, which I pretty much burned all of that. But this is a blend that I actually made with a sigil leading up to when Gary had his surgery. So it was a healing blend and just an essence that we utilized. And I forgot to bring the list of stuff that's in it, but it's pretty much all healing herbs with a little bit of dragon's blood oil. And I want to burn that. So I wanted to point that out before I burned it, because we want to use the rest of it. And in addition to that, like everything else that we have made, everything that blends and stuff that we make moving forward, we're making a conglomerate. This will be something that we will burn at Samhain each year. So we're going to put a little bit of that in there. But yeah, that's where this is actually from. I burned it and had a candle going that day.
I hear you, Dragon. I tried that, and I bought 4 books last week, but really, I am on a moratorium from buying books because
moratorium, really? Did you have to use that phrase?
Is growing pretty. It's out of control.
Right,
November, we're doing a read.
Yes.
A read focus with Little Tree Sap.
Let's talk about that, but do your book first, and then let's see if anybody else is interested in doing that. I think Dragon Dancer knows about that too.
So this,
I'm hyper
I don't
today.
know if they can see it or not, but
I have not put it up yet, but I will. There you go.
So this is the second book I'm currently reading, Lords of the Left-Hand Path by Stephen E. Flowers. It's a very good point of reference, resourceful book. And then I will show you the books that I got this week, which is why I can't get any more for a while. Psychic Witch, I know I'm late to the party, finally, by Matt Oren.
It's a very good book.
I'm excited to start on this. This will probably be one of the books I focus on for my read-off in November.
And real quick about that, because I have read Psychic Witch. I know there's I don't remember who it was. I can never remember when this up. But anyway, this is a book that I like because, and we've talked about this whole beginner thing before, that there's so many books that just go through the beginning stuff. He has like some beginner style topics, and he speaks in a tone that is relatively beginner, but he goes into some really deep subjects, which I absolutely like. So this is a good book for somebody who's not a beginner, or somebody who wants to develop psychic abilities a little bit more, utilizing exercise. It's full of exercises. It's amazing. It's a really good book.
Right. And
we can do some of the practices together at some point if you want.
Yeah, I'd love to. Actually, that will tie into one of my news topics today. Backwoods Witchcraft by Jake Richards, Conjure and Folk Magic from Appalachia. I've really been interested in Appalachian folk magic lately, so I just wanted a book to give an overview. So I am excited to read this. I don't know if y'all can see it.
They can see it, yes. I was just trying to say hello. Like, I don't have my stuff in front of me, and it's my screen is very far away because we're having internet issues, but I think it's Jeremiah. Hello, welcome in. Go ahead.
All right.
This is not what they see. This is our dashboard.
Okay.
Do not worry about it.
I don't know if y'all can see this.
Why do you keep saying that?
Because I don't know what they can actually see.
I just told you they're seeing this.
Spirit Conjuring for Witches.
Cut off already.
Magical Evocation Simplified by Frater Barbas. This was a recommendation from Little Tree Sap. So thank you for this and for feeding my book addiction. Spirit Conjuring for Witches. And then also recommended by Little Tree Sap.
Little Tree Sap might need to be banned.
The Witch's Key to the Legion, a guide to Solomonic sorcery. by L.M. Black, but that's not the author. Oh, yeah, it is L.M. Black. I thought it was a different name. So we've got plenty of books now. And in November, with Little Tree Sap, we and anyone else who would like to, because of our growing, as you said, Dragon Dancer, our read to pile growing exponentially, we're going to really do focused reading in November with our own personal goals, whether it's 1 book, 2 books, 3 books for the month, to take time every day, however much that is for each person, and read, because these books keep growing and they're like sitting here, and I'm ready to get some reading done.
So I am going to participate. I think we all could participate a little bit if you want to, but is there a goal number of books that you have to read?
Nope. No.
Just that you have to read daily.
No max, just daily reading for however long you can.
Even if it's 5 minutes.
Even if it's 5 minutes, which also goes back to one of the news topics I'll talk about in a little bit. But yeah, no max, no goal, just daily intentional reading to work down some of those in your to read pile.
I love it. And again, I don't want to say, it looks like Jeremiah, thank you for your service too. I just saw that up there. I'm a little behind, but I'm glad you are here. If you have any questions, comments, please feel free to share them up. We are just kind of going through the getting started stuff that we normally do, where we're talking about books and things that we're currently reading. We will be doing probably a short after show just for the record today, to talk about books. That's the main topic on it. But it will be short because we have a lot of yard work to do. We've got to mow, we've got some tree cutting, we've got a lot to do this afternoon. And then just as a reminder, next week, Sunday service, we will likely not have Sunday service next week. 99.9% sure that we have another engagement that we are going to do. But religiously related, spiritually related. So we may move. Maybe we'll do a quick one on Saturday, or maybe we'll just do a Twitch live or something, on Saturday or Sunday. But we will not do our service next week. I think it's next week. I think it's next Sunday. So just for the record, if anybody's looking at that. So books. That's where we are.
Thank you, Jeremiah, for your service. And Jeremiah, are you excited? 2 weeks is not long. That's a lifestyle, right?
Yes, it is.
That'll be a big change. Are you excited or mixed feelings? I'll be lucky to get through one. Me too, V. Look, and I don't care if I only get through one, or if I only get through half of one during November. The point is to make progress, and the goal is definitely not to rush, because you want to be able to get stuff from the book you're reading. So I'll probably right there with you. I might get half a book or one book read, but that's all right. That doesn't matter.
I chuckle because the other goal, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, is to not buy any more books, to get to try to get some read, and that's why I chuckled, because I don't think that's going to be part of our possibility. But I mean, I ended up with 7 new books last week too. And again, that might result in a Lil Tree Sap van who's not here to defend herself in the moment.
Hey, can we just put a lock on Amazon on books? A filter? You can't?
No. Because that would be good if we could.
That would be great.
Shadow work, we're still doing it. We are going obviously really slow. Most of the shadow work recordings we do, where I am out of the state with work, and that's one of our things that we do to kind of utilize that time better. And I haven't been out of the state, so I will be next week, which will be great. Yay, Virginia!
Hope it's cold.
Back to my home state for a little bit, but hopefully we will have a video next weekend for our Eclipsing the Shadow, because we're ready to talk about cards 3 and 4. We've done the work, I think, if I'm not mistaken. We've already worked through it on our stuff. We just need to do the video. So super excited for that, and then.
Oh Lord! Dragon Dancer has a to be bought list.
Oh, Scarlett had a really good idea, and I think I'm going to do it. I think if you're interested, nobody has to at all. And this is something that I'm going to have to work on.
Okay.
But you can create and share lists on Amazon.
Mm.
I remember she talked about this, and I thought it was a really great idea. And then we will post a conglomerate list of everybody. Once you make your list, you can make it your wish list public, kind of like not like a wedding registry, but kind of that same idea. And then we'll make a list of them. And then if you feel like going in, and you're like, you know what, let me be generous to the community. At one point, you'll go in and you'll purchase those books for those individuals.
I love that idea. Really, really love it. And I've offered to do that for people before, but do you suppose people are reticent or reluctant to do that because does it show the address?
It does not.
Oh,
so
okay.
Two things when you do a wish list that I've noticed, because I've felt this way. Number one, if you don't have a lot of money, you feel guilty that somebody else is buying you something. That's not the point.
Oh, it's community.
There are haves and there are have-nots, right? And sometimes people are more fortunate than others. We feel pretty fortunate. We would be able to do that more for others. We don't need it back. That's not the purpose. Right. So we would like people to participate that can. But also, you can do it anonymously. They do not get to see the address.
Okay, that's important.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
So that's you actually get to decide that. You can say it when you set up your list. It says, do you want your thing public or private? I do it for my sister all the time. I will go in and I'll just click it and it'll say send as a gift, and it will do it straight to them.
So put your little magical wish list up there. It could be herbs, a tarot deck, a book, an altar cloth or something. Throw it up there, and people in the community can choose to go and gift it to you.
The only thing
awesome
that I think is really important though is you have to keep it updated, because if you go and buy something for yourself, which is my problem, I'll buy it as soon as I like something, I just buy it. But I've been doing better, kind of holding off on that. Then it's make sure if you do buy it for yourself that you take it off the list, right? Because it doesn't automatically take it off. But I just really thought that would be a really neat idea. Even if you do it one time in a blue moon, even if you can't do it, don't feel guilty. Like literally, just that participating is neat. I don't know if you remember. I know that I'm going to say this, and it's going to be really weird because there's other things that this does this with, but I can't remember. So back in the 90s, like 80s and 90s, they did this thing. My sister participated. It was the Ladies' Pretty Panty Exchange. Okay. Hear me out. Some of you may know this, and they've done this with tons of different things. They do it with wine. They do it with
now you're talking.
All different kinds of things, right? And basically, and I forgot how it actually works. I'd have to sit down and think it through again. But you send a letter to somebody, and each person sends it to 10 people. And so you send, for example, let's say it's wine. You're doing 3 bottles of wine. So you have a letter, and you get this letter, and you send it out to 3 people. It says, hey, you're being nominated into the wine exchange program person thing, with your friends. And so you buy a bottle of wine, or somebody, I can't remember exactly how it works. Somebody else knows this. I know you know it. But you buy it for one person, and then you send it out to 10 people. It's a chain letter, for sure. But it's a fun thing that people do amongst friends. It's not like a random thing. You do it in groups. So ultimately, you're buying one thing, but you receive multiple things. And it's just a neat way to do stuff. This is kind of like the 2020 version of that.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, hold on.
We ready to call Circle?
That was very rude, by the way.
What?
Okay. As if you wanted me to stop?
No.
That's exactly...
I was just trying to...
Yeah, you need it. Just let it go. Let it come.
Keep us... What is this you're burning?
Sage. Sage. I'm sorry. I'll stop talking. Won't do it again.
Really? No, I was just asking, do we want to call the Circle?
You're wasting time. Go ahead.
Wow. Okay. So you don't have to participate. We're just going to get ready to the part where we call a circle. Hear me, friends and ancestors from the East. Hear my voice carried on the air of clarity and truth. Watch over us as we cast our circle of safety and love.
See me, friends and ancestors from the South. See my flame of passion and creation seared into the energy of the universe. Watch over us as we cast our circle of limitless possibility.
Feel me, friends and ancestors from the West. Feel my love, fear, sadness, and joy. washed into the waters of the rivers of compassion. Watch over us as we cast our circle of connection and motion.
Reach me, friends and ancestors from the north. Reach my feet and hands, the earth and my toes, and the work of my fingers. Watch over us as we cast our circle of the earth.
Know me, friends and ancestors from the ether. Know my heart, know my intent, and know my spirit. Watch over us as we ask you all to join us in perfect love and perfect trust.
Hear, see, feel, reach, and know that the circle is safe, the circle is sacred, and the circle is cast.
And so it is.
I'm being yelled at. Come here.
I did not get any resin last night, did you?
I got some.
Oh.
I did. I got like three pretty large pieces, so I didn't want to be greedy.
Hey, Ma.
My petite's yelling at me to pick her up. So yeah. Now, are you happy?
I feel better once the circle's cast. I do. Hey, Ma.
Oh. I love you, but your breath stink. And yeah, let's take your butt off my arm. Thanks. It's kind of warm now.
It is getting warm. We might have to
Air condition this bitch.
Woo.
We're trying to really utilize less air conditioning and be a little bit more conscientious and not, waste. So even though I wasted probably 1,000 gallons of water yesterday on accident.
What? Oh, I have to do everything now? All right, news.
I'll read your news if you'd like me to.
News. So
He's being a jerk today. The last night didn't work, Joy. We have to redo it.
So in some news this week, there's an article. This is all from, both of these are from the Wild Hunt, which is a pagan weekly news periodical online site. And the Temple of Poseidon in Eladia, Greece, Greek and Austrian archaeologists may have located the foundations of a temple to the Greek god Poseidon. They announced this on a Facebook post on October 7th. In late September, the excavation discovered the foundation of a large building nearly 10 meters wide with thick walls about 0.8 of a meter. And the scientists believe the building would have been 28 meters long with 2 interior rooms. Poseidon, popularly known as the sea god today, had many attributes in the classic Hellenic religion, including earthquakes and horses. As the patron of many festivals in the ancient world, and is mentioned in the foundational myths of the cities of Athens and Corinth. Most enduring literary role is that of Odysseus's, I don't know if I'm saying that right, nemesis in Homer's Odyssey.
I mean, that was accurate to me. I think that's how it said. Odysseus' nemesis in Homer's Odyssey, yeah. Read that in 10th grade, I think? 9th grade, something like that.
The next article I enjoyed was by Storm Fairy Wolf. And again, this is taken from The Wild Hunt. And it talks about something important to me. I feel like this coming Friday, the 28th, will be a month since Hurricane Ian.
Yeah.
I feel like it's been 2 weeks. And I feel like I've worked 30 days straight without a day off. Even though I've had days off. It doesn't feel that way. So, again, I'm trying to think of how do you rebound? How do you recharge from everyday things and when stuff happens? So, Storm Fairy Wolf had an article called Bite-Sized Witchcraft. And it talks about in our busy world of work, family, and commitments, how do we take our practice to the next level or just do it consistently? Versus having our magic or our practice being something as an afterthought, a hobby, or just an interest. We can take a few minutes each day to deepen our magical focus and skills and reconnect with the magic that's already around us. We are taught, through school and from a young age that the accumulation of knowledge can be acquired through diligent study, and we're capable through this study of competency and mastery. Witchcraft, magic, etc. is different because it's not wholly rational.
I don't want to cut you off.
Go ahead.
But I really like that phrase, that is not wholly rational. And I think that this is where a lot of people run into skepticism. And truly, I mean, that's not a secret, right? But then, you have the same mindset of anything else being wholly rational. But something being rational is not necessarily, accurate, or it doesn't mean what people thinks it means. Like, rational and logic aren't the same, number one, and many things appear irrational until they're studied and understood, and then they become rational, and that's not looked upon, and that maybe isn't even the goal either, because our goal isn't to rationalize witchcraft, although there is some scientificness to it. Things that you do work, and you see that they work, and that is evidence, regardless, anecdotal at best, but it's evidence. So just like, I really like that phrase, wholly rational, when we're talking about the process that you're ready to go into. Because and it fits in with books, right? We read books, you learn what we call rote knowledge. Rote knowledge is algebra. It is, if you have no physics and you have to exert enough force to open the window, which the window is resisting at the same amount of force, right? And so there's all of these different pieces to it that's rote, that you learn. But then the application of it becomes the art. That's why things are sciences and art. There's an art to things and there's a science to things. The science is the rational side. The art is the rest of it. And that, to me, is bigger and will always be bigger than the science side. And that's what I think separates pagans and, even Christians, but any type of religion from atheism, agnosticism, that kind of stuff. Anyway, I just really like that phrase. Wholly rational.
And when I think of magic, we do things, we do crystal grids, we combine herbs and oils into our candle magic, we do things ritualistically from a magical perspective to strengthen our intent, to strengthen our focus. But we still gotta do the work, right? It's not to light candles to Santa Muerte and say, I'm going to win the lottery, I want to do all this. I think we have to be very clear with our intent when we're asking for money or physical things, that we state that so it doesn't come from a death or harm to someone we care about or nefarious means.
Sounds good.
But you're not going to win the lottery if you don't buy tickets. You're not going to get a higher paying job if you don't take a class or strengthen your skills. It's all about putting the work in and using these things to amplify your focus, your intent out into the universe. And it's really part of the left-hand path to me, is like you are responsible for what you do and your outcomes, right?
Well, I mean, it's a complete cycle of thought, create, do, act, receive, back to thought, so that's kind of like, if you want to put together an organizational system, you have to think it first, and then you have to lay out the scaffold, and then you have to build it, and then you have to make it, use it, do it, and then you have to take it down, recycle it, and reuse it again. And that's kind of the thought process behind that whole part of the cycle. And I think it's lost on some people sometimes.
Have a good day, Jeremiah.
Thank you for stopping in.
Stopping in. Good luck over the next 2 weeks. Stop back in anytime. Yes. Magic is not passed as ordinary knowledge. Excuse me. Study and focus is required, but also our willingness to move beyond the rational and then take a journey that, when repeated, shapes our consciousness into which is able to touch and direct what we think of as magic. So some tips, like, I'm feeling this right freaking now. How can we get back in touch, or how can I get back in touch with spiritual magic, whatever you want to call it? And so there were a few tips in this article that I thought were pretty cool. One, schedule time for regular magic, whether it's Google Calendar, iPhone alerts, writing on a physical calendar, whatever methods you use. Setting it on your magical calendar keeps your practice in your consciousness and makes it more likely to be done each day.
Ooh. No, the next one. Go ahead.
Oh. Attach magic to mundane routines. So ground and center, for example, before cleaning the kitchen.
I have.
Go ahead.
We recently talked about magic in the mundane world and how we can utilize it. And one of the reasons why I don't like I'm doing our own yard work when we don't really have a lot of time is because I want to be in the yard. I want to be outside. I want to be under the sun. I want to be in the earth. I want to be a part of it. And one of the things that I could probably do is use some of that time for meditation, which I do now, but like maybe even take a blessing blend out and spread it out along while I'm mowing the lawn, for example. I would like to go out and lay down and talk to the trees and the plants and stuff for a while too. That's something else we've been wanting to do, but
think how different what they'll say now after what this area, what the trees have been through.
Mom's falling asleep.
Like the scars and damage they have.
Look at her sweetness.
So how can you attach mundane to your normal routine?
Shh, lightly.
You could ground and center prior to cleaning the kitchen. Light a particular candle and focus on intention. Housework is a great opportunity for spiritual cleansing and protection of one's space.
Yeah, we have the protection rune that we activated at the house that Dragon Dance that you gave to us. I have some ideas we could utilize that out in the yard.
Cool.
I like that idea, yeah. Oh, yeah.
We need it on the outside. Little acts of magic between other projects. Very important. The more magic we perform, the better we become at it. Space things out over the course of your day. For example, you could ground and center in the morning. At lunch or during lunch, you could set aside a small portion of your lunch as an offering to a spirit or deity you are working with or trying to connect to. In between, I do this. In my office, I have some things set up. I've got some crystals. I've got a little statue of Lord Ganesha. I've got, what else in there right now? A little dragon.
So I've got a bunch of rocks in my book bag that I'll take out if I need. If I feel really slow, I pull out my Bumblebee Jasper. If I feel really soft, like I'm not speaking up when I need to, then I'll grab my Carnelian. If I feel like I'm being way overzealous, I'll grab my Apatite or my Lapis Lazuli. So that's a neat way to do it. I didn't even think about that.
But in between phone calls or emails, take a minute as often as you like to focus on something spiritual. A deity statue, a bowl of salt, that's what I've got, a crystal, etc., to incorporate a little magic into your day. And this is one that I've got to put in practice, but it's a way I meditate. Even if it's only for 15 to 20 minutes, set aside some time each day to read about a magical topic that interests you. It could be 5 minutes. It could be 1 minute. Do you need a refill, sir?
I do.
So that was a really cool article that I enjoyed reading. Those are cute.
Yeah.
Little bottles.
We're going to talk about it because it goes along with your thing here before you go.
Oh, before I go.
Yeah. So I just didn't want to disturb Ma Petite too much because she's,
Mademoiselle Ma Petite Poisson.
pretty comfortable, it seems. Look at her. Oh my God, the nails, honey. One of the things that I really like to do when I know something is going to be excessively difficult and or stressful is I like making herb bottles or bottles in general. So even though, that's got covered in dog hair, I need to wipe that off. This one leaked. It's very old. I used this, was probably, 5 or 6 years old. Wow. And it is...
Hey, Ziggy.
Hey, Ziggy.
Welcome.
It is little shards of jasper with oil in it, and the oil spilled out of it, but I did seal it. And then this one still has some left in it, you can see.
Oh, that's cool.
This is a sour jar, and I know it's tiny. We're going to put it up there, but this was a sour jar because somebody was bugging me and causing issues for me, and I put all of it into the jar, all the issues and all of my responses that I wanted to say into the jar, and I sealed the jar so that that person can no longer affect me, and they have not since then. And then this one, I had to go in and have a conversation with somebody that was really, really lying horribly about a lot of different people, but it was an employee of mine. It was a very difficult situation. And I kept this with me the whole time up to and after. And again, it's sealed. It probably needs to be buried now. But a little jar that I, again, put... this one, though, was different. This one was being professional. This one was understanding that even though I didn't like the other person, that didn't make them less human. The other person is having their own difficulties. It's just not a good time for our interactions right now. To help myself not be a dick, pretty much. And
hey, Melvin.
It worked.
You want me to show them?
Oh, yeah. So we can show those. They're tiny, so they may not come through very well.
Or maybe the sun's gone, too.
But there's just a couple of sealed jars that I've made in the past. I mean, that one is...
So can you see the little wax? Yeah,
2 or 3 years old. And these are much older. I did a binding spell on that one, but it's covered in dog hair. Because the oil leaked out of it, oil and water. I like to mix oil and water in my little jars because
this is a sour jar.
Yeah, oftentimes when I'm doing this magic, it's because things are not mixing, and so oil and water don't mix. So I like to use both oil and water in that magic because they represent two things that are both necessary and truly necessary for life. You got to have water, and oil is adipose is a type of fat or oil. Those things are required for life, so they just don't mix, and it's fine. They both need to exist. So that's one of the reasons why I do that. But anyway, just throw that on the back of yours.
Oh, thank you, the jokester. Welcome, the jokester. I hope I'm saying that right, or is it the jockster?
Welcome back. Thank you for coming and excuse me. Now you can get refills.
Okay.
Thank you, Jesus.
Refill time.
Or Satan, whoever.
Mimosas.
Yeah, and they're like nobody. I never asked or was trained on how to do those. Like I never read a book on how to do those. I thought of, and I don't even know if that's the way somebody else would do them at this moment in life. I just realized that I wanted something to kind of channel into, and I like trinkets. I'm a trinket type person. Sorry, it is driving me bonkers that is crooked. Oh, that is so much better. I was going to die. It's still a little crooked, but that's still better. But I just, seriously, I just said, you know what? I love these little bottles. I bought the little bottles for that kind of stuff. I really was going to use them for like making pendants and stuff. And I'm like, what is a good way that I can put things in that remind myself of how to do and what I need to do to make things work right for me? And it just was really cool. Jockster, that's what I thought, but it is. We got it. I'll make sure he is corrected. Our third topic, really quick topic, is NASA. Basically, is saying through the Hubble telescope, there's some new things that we have found, and that something quote unquote weird is happening in the universe. And so the Hubble Space Telescope research identified a discrepancy in what's happening in the universe. Basically, that it's expanding quicker than our current physics says it should, and it's doing it in a non-uniform way. So it's not being consistent. So this may change our entire understanding of the universe in a new era of physics. And the reason I wanted this as a topic, that feels weird when you're licking, my dear, is because I tend to think that one of the reasons I should say not we, but one of the reasons I have difficulties and anxieties just in general is by holding too fast to something as truth. Thank you. So we hold on that gravity is true, but we only understand it within our own frame of reference at this point. It doesn't mean it can't change or have a new definition at some point, and that is something I've had to learn over time. Is that no matter how true truth is, it doesn't always have to be true. And I know that sounds weird, but it's really one of the things that has helped me. Don't you dare. It's just people. She sees somebody, she's about to go bonkers. But anyway.
Jockster,
okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So it just really makes me think that instead of judging somebody for saying what we may perceive as inaccurate or wrong, it kind of gives you that allowance box, right, to put stuff in to say, hey, you know what, we're wrong, we're right now, we might be wrong tomorrow, and allows us to really experience other things from multiple perspectives instead of just one. I'm not saying there's no universal truth. There's no factual, accurate truths. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying my anxieties and my issues and personal failures and shortcomings have been eased by allowing an understanding that truth isn't always going to be true. It doesn't always have to be true. So our understanding of physics may be completely different 1,000 years from now. I expect that it would be. Cell phones is always my go-to example. Take a cell phone out 100 years ago, there was no way we ever would have been able to do that. Like, oh my God, you're crazy. If somebody had said that that's going to happen, we would have laughed them out of the village, you know?
It's a good old-fashioned mimosa, Melvin.
So yeah, we do mimosas pretty much every weekend. Mimosas or champagne. I have a feeling we're going to use out this champagne and then switch to probably like a sparkling juice with the seed lip and or orange juice, because we're starting to really reduce alcohol intake in general too.
And I'm back on my medicine.
Yeah. And the seed lip is just good.
The seed lip is just good.
The non-alcoholic mixers, they really are just good. So let me do real quick the astrology stuff. So right now, today, we're Libra in the scales, 7th sign of the zodiac, we're cardinal air. You know, this is where we've been the last month. Tomorrow, we actually merge or flip into, and again, when I say today and tomorrow, it's not really today and tomorrow. It's somewhere amongst the energy at the moment, because these are not exact. And we all know astrologically that things have shifted so much that really isn't even the sign right now. But to me, it is more important at the moment where we currently are, in order to have some knowledge, is to be consistent with it, and consistently applying it still makes sense. So while it may not be cosmically accurate, we're in Libra today. Tomorrow we are moving into Scorpio. We are going from air to water. It is a fixed water, and we'll be kind of moving into this new feeling and energy, which is normal this time of year, obviously, because this is where we go, end of October. I cannot believe it's the end of freaking October.
That's nuts. That's awesome. Alternate sense of truth, prairie oyster, and sparkling grape juice is good. Thank you. Yeah, I'll be there with you starting next week. Melvin, back to juice and non-alcoholic things for me.
A prairie oyster? That actually sounds really good. Like, what is it? Sounds really neat, not good. I don't know why I said good.
So I'll be getting sparkling lemonade, sounds good. Sparkling grape juice.
I like sparkling anything.
And add the seed lip in with it.
Well, we have this blueberry pomegranate bubbly that would probably be good with the seed lip. That'd be a neat drink. So today we're waning crescent. We're about 5% illuminated. Currently the moon is in Libra, and we will be going into a new moon, I think Tuesday. So with the new moon Tuesday at the very beginning of Scorpio, this is an emotional moon. I think some of the things we really want to do is look at move into an observation moment is where I'm headed. So right now, at least in our local area, we've seen devastation. We've seen a lot of changes in the environment and the weather, and that is also happening. There's another major hurricane that's going towards Mexico right now. Forgot her name already. It's an L or a K name. I can't remember. So devastation's happening. Like, it's coming. Like, things are changing, and the earth is cleansing itself, and it's going to do that. But it's not just the physical. We talked about this last night, which was really cool. It's not just the physical part. We're also talking mind, body, and spirit, not of just us, but of the universe we are a part of, right? Fully and truly part of. So that whole mind, body, spirit, and everything that's connected is also in this reset. Now, the reset's going to not all be on the same timeline for everybody. So my reset, our reset, I feel like has been the last 3 to 4 months, culminating in a physical energy reset. And now we're kind of at the ictal phase after it, where we're kind of just like, what happened? Right. And we're still working through it, but other people may be going through it at different times, but it is coming and it's going to happen. So right now, I would say next week we just need to be very careful as we're moving our locus of decision. So where we are making decisions is coming out of our mind, which it needed to be because of everything that's happening, and it's moving into our heart. It's moving into our our intuition, and our emotion. So that's where we're going to have to kind of pay attention to, because when you go from the mind to the heart, that's when you get the little tornadoes. You're going from air to water, you're getting a water spout. Things get spun up really fast. So just be observant for that and make sure that you don't let yourself get spun up too hard. And just be careful. There's temper flaring, whatever. Tuesday and Monday, today and Monday. With the Moon Libra, it should help the transition a little bit, I think, as we slowly also have that emotional balance. Tuesday and Wednesday are our most aligned days. So Tuesday and Wednesday, we're both Sun and Moon in Scorpio. I do think that this means you'll probably be a lot in your feelings, so a lot of emotions those days, but they're going to be good, they're going to be positive. It'll be pretty easy to keep a positive outlook. But Tuesday and Wednesday are going to be really good days for us to experience and allow our emotions to come through. Thursday through the most of the weekend, we're back in Sagittarius, which means lots of energy, lots of fun. Do fun things this weekend, but also get a lot of work done. This is the weekend to finally get all those pieces together that help you your emotional status. So like my emotional status gets a little fuzzy when stuff is everywhere. So I need to organize. I'm going to finish organizing my books, my tarot probably. But that's the forecast for the week. And ultimately, when we talk about these energies and the zodiac or the tarot or whatever, the idea behind them isn't that we're telling the future or saying how it's going to be. We're mapping out the consistency of energies that have happened historically and through into the future. And it allows us to pay attention to those things and manage and mitigate those things. Most of the stuff that you say or that we do in a forecast is going to be active or appropriate any week. But with the energies aligned, it's not just what's happening to us. It's the whole of everything that we are a part of and that we're connected to. So that is the really important piece. Next full moon is November 8th.
Ooh.
It is the beaver moon.
Cool.
The animal, the beaver. And it's really unfortunate because it's called the beaver moon, because that's when we would ancestors would trap beavers to make skins for the cold winter. We're smarter humans than that now, and we don't need to do that. And our next new moon, like I said, is October 25th, which is Tuesday. Yeah. Whew. So we've gotten through all the majority of our stuff, and we are exactly on time where we're supposed to be, literally. And my arm is also literally falling asleep. But I cannot move it.
Mademoiselle, you want to get down, Ma? You want to get down?
She looks pretty comfortable to me.
Oh, you want to get down?
My arm hurts. I'm going to have to. I'm sorry, baby.
Come here.
Go with him for a little bit.
Come here. Oh, come here.
She's so cute.
Come here, Pssst.
I'm sorry. My arm is all sweaty.
It's your baby.
I love her. She's so cute.
Yeah.
So today I'm just going to talk to start with our conversation. We'll see where it goes for the next 20, 30 minutes before we get into tarot. We have fun tarot today. And that is sharing space in ritual and in social. And the reason we kind of chose this is because of last night. We talked about a little bit at the very beginning that we had some... I paused to call it ritual, although it really was ritual. She is Love Angel music, baby.
This little 3-pound dog's name is Mademoiselle Ma Petite Poissette Astra. Ma Petite for short.
Yeah. Okay.
And no, I don't keep her in a jar like they kept Ma Petite on Freak Show season of AHS.
Oh, I love that show.
Ma Petite.
But
that's where I got her name from, Ma Petite.
But anyway, I hesitate. I'm looking for a pen. I hesitate to call it a ritual, even though it really was. I mean, it was ritual.
That baby.
It was more presence of everything together. So it is really we are considered. I consider both of us solitary practitioners, right? Oh, Finn's laying right behind you. Rook, do you call yourself solitary?
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
But with group activities.
Yeah.
Solitary with group activities.
So yeah, hi Finny. He's so cute. So yeah, I mean, and that's the truth. We're solitary practitioners. We do a lot of practice on our own. We come up with our practice. We create our own practice. And a lot of us do that. But not having that social or group activity is something that would be very detrimental, I think, to us as practicers of the pagan persuasion. See you, V. Have a good one.
Baby. Thanks for stopping by.
Mon petit. Look at this one. Yeah, she's so cute. She's a sweet baby. So, as we have slowly gotten out and started working a bit more with other practitioners, we are finding so much more value in the social aspect of it, but it doesn't change the independent and personal and private practitioner portion from my perspective, right? I still feel like an independent practitioner. However, notably last night during our experience, the community with which we sat around the fire, and not all of the group and or Keith or anybody was technically there. There was some really big, wide magic that occurred last night. Hearing the stories and the explanations from what I would call a new member to the group, because of the side of the group that I'm on may not be a new member. I'm just saying that's new to me. Was amazing. Like it was extremely, extremely moving. And it wasn't one of those rituals where, everything was perfect. It was very laid back. It was very relaxed. And it has been my favorite one so far out of everything we've done. Other than Silent Supper, I love Silent Supper. Like that's truly my favorite. But I just wanted to kind of talk about that a minute because it's really, really neat to have that experience. Is she getting heavy? Mm-hmm. See how long I held her? You think she's getting heavy now? Mm-hmm.
You switch hands.
Yeah. Any thoughts?
Well, I just think there's certain things that you just can't do solitary, that you need they're so much better with a group.
Yeah.
Certain workings, it's the different energies, the ability to focus, the added focus, and so I would say mostly solitary, but the monthly get-togethers with a group are really nice. We get together with a group about once a month.
Yeah.
About once a month.
I think the important thing, though, to kind of share on this platform really is that just because you do some group work doesn't mean you're not an independent practitioner. One, you're not, what is it? I already forgot. Solitary. There's something about it, like when people feel like they have to decide either I'm solitary or in a coven. Those are, number one, not mutually exclusive, and not every group has to be a coven, and not every coven has to be. There's so much more to it than that. Literally just being physically present last night, even if I didn't say anything, my magic was elevated yesterday. It was different. It's to a new place, and those things come out of the connections that we have to each other and that we work through, and I think that is just incredibly beautiful. And I wanted to point it out today because I think no matter how solitary or independent you are, you should consider at least participating periodically, or at least once, with a group and see how you feel with it. But just remember, even if you're uncomfortable, that may be social discomfort, not magical discomfort. They are different. I don't really even know what my point is, but last night I felt like it was a group. I felt like we were in something. It was different. It was nice.
Very easy.
Very easy.
Even working with a couple of people we haven't really worked with before, it wasn't awkward or weird.
It was nice. Yeah. And I find how valuable that is at this point in my life and in my practice. So it's really, really critical to have that thought process. I also have to say, a part of it also, I think, kind of it challenged some of the things that I would have been nervous to do any other time, and I wasn't nervous or concerned about it. I just wasn't. It was beautiful. Like I can't say enough about how beneficial, easy, simple magic and ritual can be. Most powerful thing you can go through is to be organic and easy and simple and flow and go and work it. Now, sure, there's some steps that can help align things in a certain way. We did that. Fire is an important symbol. The altar is an important symbol. The directions and the elements, they're all important symbols that we spoke to. But if we didn't say the watchtowers of the east, instead we said the Stonehenge of the east, the magic doesn't change. That's a bad example, but that was my example. Yeah, I like that, Noella. That's hilarious. Yes, Dragon Dancer, agree 100%.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, and you know what, Noella? Even regardless of how it actually turns out, like, I'm pretty sure, like, from last night, most of us are on different paths. But man, it just worked. So, I don't know much about Hermetic specifically. Anything else on that one before we do our last topic and then switch to Tarot?
Nope, I think I'm good.
Silent Supper for Samhain. We've mentioned it. We've talked about it a little bit. But I want to go into some more detail with Silent Supper and Samhain, just for the record, for the case. Silent Supper is not attached to any specific denomination or religion. It can be atheistic, agnostic. It can be purely based on reviving the memories of old. And it reminds me of something that many of you may have read. I've seen it on Facebook. I've seen it on a swatch. I've seen it on embroidered onto a blanket before. I can't remember the exact verbiage, but I'm going to share you the sentiment. And that is, you're a witch. I need you to, person goes to the witch and says, I need you to bring back my loved one. I miss them terribly. Or my loved pet, because I've seen it as a pet system thing too, because I miss them terribly. And the witch says, no, but can you tell me a story about them? You know where this is going. And he goes, well, yeah, I have a story, but will that bring them back? And the response from the witch is, well, yeah, for a little while for us.
It's a different kind of magic.
It makes my hair stand. You can't see it, but my hair stands up on end every time I think about that. And that's what Silent Supper kind of is for me. And awesome, Joy. I will make sure that they are on the list so that we make enough places.
There should be sleep with the law. What?
Yeah, I'm not sure what that is.
What's Joy saying? Ham and beef. Oh, for supper.
That is too cool.
I will warn you. Silent Supper, just, I would say to do something before, which I didn't do last time. Really, I would suggest grounding before, because if people come through, whether it be in the form of, for me, it was a very strong and vivid memory. It is very strong and powerful, and I would just really suggest grounding before doing a Silent Supper.
Yeah.
I didn't, and it really, I was shook.
Yeah.
Last year, it really hit hard.
So the real purpose of Silent Supper, and I can't remember if it was last year or the year before.
Last year.
It was?
Yeah.
So the real thing for Silent Supper is to honor ancestors' memories of, and even commune and contact with them. Now, you may also see it called a dumb supper, which I can't stand.
I hate that word.
It just makes me feel like, number one, stupid. We know dumb doesn't mean stupid in this sentence. It means silent. But then I'm like, okay, I know deaf people, and I don't think that would be an appropriate. It just sounds rude. Like, it's a dumb supper because it's silent. Okay, well, silent people aren't dumb. Like, I don't like dumb supper. I like silent. So before we do it, we're married, we have social, we'll usually have a communal altar where people can come and set up pictures or things that remind them of their ancestors. Now, remembering that we're honoring ancestors that we know, and we're honoring ancestors that we don't know. So there are ancestors that are before us that if they didn't exist, we wouldn't exist. Period. I mean, that's just the truth, and we may not ever know them, but they are a part of that. there's just there's no way around it. And so when we do the Silent Supper, like we'll get together, we have the communion, we'll talk, we'll cook, we'll make stuff at the house, or people will bring stuff, we'll heat it up. We do set it up buffet style. In some traditions, you have a host or a hostess that has to try to anticipate the needs of the people, but we do it buffet style. You get up here, get your food, your drink, and all this stuff, and we all sit down at the table. We ring the bell to start the meal. We have a place setting for the ancestors and spirits that's separate. Of course, I forgot to mention we do circle before. And we usually, before we actually do the bell and the dinner, we usually will talk a little bit about, ritualistic type, what we're here to honor the ancestors. We might play some specific songs which we have on a playlist and that kind of stuff. And then, Joy, last year we did scrying mirrors. So Joy, Rook, and I all were here. It was somebody else. Was your sister did somebody?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so we made black scrying mirrors. Actually, 2 of them right here. We should show one. Then we gifted them to everybody that came. This is my favorite one.
Show it. And thanks to Joy, this was a fun
We gotta do that again.
This was a fun freaking craft to do.
There we go. And so the scrying mirror is really simple and really inexpensive. But we gifted those and had them at each person's location. And that is actually black mirror, and you can see how shiny it is. But that is one of the scrying mirrors we made for that. That's showing the camera. That's funny. But seriously, like that is, it's really, really helpful to have those things. And then we have our silent supper, and then while you're eating, what I did is I looked at the spirit place that we had set with a full plate of food, including the macaroni and cheese my grandmother makes, and I pictured my grandmother sitting there, and then my grandfather, and then going back further and further and further, and just having dinner with all of our ancestors, and all of your ancestors are there. I think I even forgot for a good portion of it that anybody else was present at the house. Like it was something else, and we had there were some people crying, there were some people laughing. It was kind of random. It was very nice. It's very amazing. Afterwards, we ring the bell when everybody's done. The last person eats. We go into the last person eats in complete silence. Afterwards, we talk about our family and our ancestors, what we saw, what our feelings were, and it is just an amazing way to really have that ritual. And then we do some small ritual things. Fire always. Like I don't think we've ever had a ritual without fire. Forgot. We also write down things on paper of what we need to let go of for the new witch's year and kind of move into. So we write those down on pencil and paper, and we burn the paper. And then we have cake and ale. That is a Samhain. That's what we do. So it's very, like, in my personal history, it's very similar to Thanksgiving. But I am not a big fan of Thanksgiving the way we do it, and my worst experiences have been around Thanksgiving, which I love the time of the year, but my worst personal and family issues have all happened around Thanksgiving and Christmas, which is sad. But anyhow, any thoughts on Samhain? Noella, ancestor, and finished the scrying mirror, but have not done the supper yet. You should do it. I'm telling you, it's not hard. You can do it by yourself even. It does not take a group.
How do you always have to catch me?
How do you always have to kick it? How dare you? Alright. So, I love that you have an ancestor altar. We have ours right over here to the west of the house, along with our water altar.
It needs some attention.
Scrying mirror is so much fun to make. It's so much easier than you think. It's just neat. We got to do that one again. And pomanders, I love doing the pomanders.
That was a lot of fun. Maybe
we can video it again this year and actually make a decent video, because last year I think it was 6 hours to make one.
Yeah.
It was a mess. The silent supper, though, like, that's the magic for me. So, any questions on any of that? Go ahead and post them, because my next question is, we are going to be using one of 3 tarots, so we may mix them. We may use all 3 of them.
Cool. For some quick reads today.
We have the Halloween Tarot by Kickling West.
Oh, cool.
We have the Jack-o'-lantern Tarot by Giuliano Costo.
Ooh, I like her getup.
And the Halloween Oracle, Lifting the Veil by Stacey DeMarco, who's one of my favorite images.
Oh, that's cool.
She's really good with that.
Stacey DeMarco.
So,
Halloween Oracle.
it is time for that now.
Would anybody like a couple
Who
cards?
would like a card?
Who are you?
And paranormal,
Ooh, I want to show Joy.
we can show you how to do it. Joy taught us how to do it. It's very simple.
I'm going to show Joyce Williams.
The only things that you need to make it are, number one, from a thrift store, you can find an old picture frame, but make sure it's got a glass front. Usually you can pick them up for between $1 and $3. And then you need black and a silver spray paint, I think we used, and then some herbs, a little bit of felt to kind of hold it all together. There's other things you could probably use. And some Mod Podge or craft glue of some sort. That's all. That's it. I think our total cost when we broke it all down, we ended up making like 10 mirrors. We probably spent less than $30. So, and herbs that you want to use. Unexplained, I completely missed your question. I am so sorry. I only saw it when Joy answered it, which is perfect answer, by the way. If you don't know who your ancestors are or anything about your culture, absolutely. You know, and I'm assuming you're talking about historical culture, right? Because your culture is whatever you make it. It's you. Now, if that's your case. But you most certainly can, and I would suspect you probably will see some things. Ancestor altars, we keep one up year round, and it's, you know, not only just a place to remember, but it's got pictures of family and friends, not just blood relatives. We are all related at some point. There's no doubt in my mind that there is a relation point between all of us. There is degrees of separation, whatever it is, from a familial standpoint. So friends go on an ancestor altar. Friends that have departed, family, pets, everything. We honor them all. And like I said, we honor the unknowns because there are some that we will never know. I would love that. So far I've got Ziggy on the card. Dragon on the card. I'm assuming Joy wants a card. Anybody I miss?
All right, let's get them going.
It looks like Brad's going to use the Halloween Tarot, and I'll use the Jack-o'-lantern Tarot. Is that
cool? That's good with you. For Miss Ziggy, right? Ooh, let's clean these.
I think so, Paranormal. I think it may be 25 grandparents back, but yes, I think there's a common ancestor for the majority. Maybe not all, but the majority of us. And if there's not, we're all connected to the universe. We, you know, at some point, maybe it's billions of years, maybe it was yesterday, and this is all a mirage and a projection that we're on. But we're all related in some way, shape, or form at some point, for sure. I truly, truly believe that.
He's a cute little dog.
Joxer, you most certainly, absolutely can. Paranormal, always. Alright, so far we've got Ziggy, Dragon, Joy, Joxer, Paranormal. Remember, I'm going to do a plug. I don't do plugs much. Make sure you subscribe and like and comment. Well, you're commenting already, so like and subscribe. I'm not big on, I don't know this stuff. I'm not a marketer. Ah! Uh-oh. It's not a jumper because we don't have a person that we said yet.
Huh? Because we don't have a what?
We haven't said our first person yet. Alright.
I thought it was Ziggy.
It is, but we haven't said it yet. What's wrong with you?
Oh, I don't know what you're saying. Honey bear. I love you.
I bet you do. How many times are they going to go in and out of that car?
Huh? I know.
Our neighbors have gone up down the street like 9 times. I actually think that's everybody in chat. Ziggy, Dragon, Joy, Joxer, Paranormal. V had to leave.
Jeremiah had
to leave. So we're going to start with Ziggy. And if we didn't mention your name and you want to read, just let me know. Say it, and we'll make sure you get one. Again, Rook here has the Halloween Tarot, and myself, I am using the Jack-o'-lantern Tarot, which it's very... I don't know. You're going to have to tell me
cool.
the imagery. Yeah, it's very different, but I like the imagery on it.
Reminds me of Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz, and it reminds me of, like, some kind of Germanic fresco. Like Pumpkinheady. I don't know.
Yeah, I could see that.
Imagine waking up and hearing him at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Singing.
Usually within the first couple of hours, you'll hear, or first couple of minutes, please pick a different verse. Please, just a different verse. That's all I'm asking.
Lately, I've been singing
the same verse.
Tovlo. Tovlo, no one dies from love. I love Tovlo.
Hey, Ma, you're not coming back up right now. All right, Ziggy.
No one dies from love.
You want to pull first?
Yeah, I can.
Guess I'll be the first. And I have never even listened to the song.
You would miss my singing, should I?
I would.
Cease to exist.
Yes, and you know I'm having fun with it because I told myself if I'm ever the cause of you stopping your singing, then I am the asshole and I should be shot.
Wow.
But please turn it down a little bit.
Oh, me.
Yeah. You're right, Paranormal. I love these, not quite micro decks, but these smaller decks are so much easier.
Ooh, she's cute.
Ooh, 10 of...
Two
of what?
2 of pumpkins, which are pentacles, I take it.
I would assume so.
All right, 2 of pumpkins. So you have an opportunity soon to work with somebody on a project or on something for you. Take them up on it. It may be an unlikely partnership, but just work with them, and you will need to do that to manifest or to achieve something that you want. It tells me it's something physical. I don't know what that could be. Money, an opportunity, house, car, possessions. But you're gonna need to work with somebody on it, and it may not be somebody you would expect. So just keep an eye out on an unlikely partner. That
Beautiful.
bugs me. I don't know if it's clear enough to see, but she's really cute.
It is
She's
clear enough to see.
She's balancing, and the pumpkins are outlined in the infinity symbol.
Set it down on the box.
Just to show that we're always working on something.
Always.
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 And this is not a spiritual something. It's a physical, something physical or mundane to do with possessions.
Why do you keep kicking me?
I feel like it might be something that generates a little bit of money.
And I've got the 3 of Swords for Mrs. Ziggy's daughter crush. Now.
Ziggy!
Now. If you're thinking traditionally,
She's
the
cute.
3 of Swords is representation of either some heartbreak or something that's going to really make a change, or the need to kind of reinvent yourself to a degree and pull yourself out of something. So the love is either between you and somebody or you and yourself. And all 3 of the swords pierce at a different angle, but they are consistent, and they are saying you are getting hit all from all 3 sides right now, and it's a little bit much. It's a lot extra, and you need to cut something out, whether it is a person, and this has come up before with you. This is still person cutting. This is maybe even something of yourself that you need to kind of cut loose. But the 3 of Swords is always, in my experience, about self-love or love from others that is kind of toxic to a degree. And so it wants you to open your eyes and kind of see where is that. It's not a big thing. It's not this massive, huge craziness. It's just a little cut here, a little cut there to get things where it needs to be so that you can free yourself a little bit more. So yeah, Three of Swords.
And it could be related to what she's working on.
Good.
In a physical sense. Maybe to use that airiness.
Excuse me.
The mind. Airiness in a good way. Phew, are we going dragon? I hope
Dragon
that
dance,
was fun or provided some help. Dragon dancer. What's she
Yeah,
doing?
the Three of Swords is always a little bit weird to me because, when you're looking at Three of Swords from depending on what cards are around it, it's you got to set free. You got to cut free of that, or it's to your own detriment.
Might be somebody else trying to get in that don't need to be there.
Could be.
Somebody else trying to be up in your
interloper.
mix.
It could be an interloper.
A conniver. Might be a conniver. Or a shenanigan stirrer.
And Dragon, yes, Romeo and Juliet will probably, they could disagree. Even though, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo?
Dragon, she's dancing for money. Do what you want her to do. She's dancing for plants lately. And providing them, and we're very thankful for all the plants.
Yes. And I am excited to see some of these come back. I don't know. I feel like our peach tree was going to die like before the storm, and now I feel like it's alive more than it ever has been.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
What does
it just tells you how much I feel connected to nature, but I don't understand what I'm doing. Like I really should have been doing, and I'm not beating myself up either. So I really should have been paying more attention to nature and things around me than I have in my life. And it, now is fine, but it's good. All right, I'll pull first for Dragon Dance.
Always dancing for plants. I love it. I want to make you a shirt that says that. Always dancing for plants. I think that would be cute.
Dragon Dancer, your first card is the moon.
The moon. Ooh, she's a pretty one.
That is a very different moon. Now you see some of the standard symbolism, though, right? You see, the moon. Is that a skeleton moon? It's a skull moon.
It is a skull moon.
We should rename the moons. Which one would be the skull moon? Samhain, probably. The full moon in November. The beaver moon is now the skull moon. We've made it so.
I like that much better than beaver.
But anyway, you see you see the crustacean. You see is there wolves or is it just okay? Yeah, there are wolves, but they're skeletal.
They're skeletal wolves.
And your two oracle paths, your guideposts look like coffins almost in that imagery. But there it is. It is flyby moon. This is the moment that you pay attention to the contrasting things that are happening, and there are secrets that are being revealed to you right now. You've been looking for them. You've been searching for them, and you've been a little bit upset that they have not come as quickly as they should, or not quickly, but as clearly as they should. So there's some frustration behind it. But the moon is saying right there, the truths are being uncovered. The light is shining of the full moon that is going to contrast what you need to see in the night, and your path will continue going through. So that is an exceptional moon, and it is a different moon, and I like that for you because it really, you're working on something that is giving you something new that you are looking for, that you've been looking for, some maybe pulling you out a little bit of stagnation. Moon is really, really good, especially on a full moon, at illuminating things that you wouldn't see during the day because you're seeing them in a different perspective. So I love that.
And to go with that,
there you go.
I pulled the Page of Bats. Look out for somebody who might be new to either your life, new to a path. Somebody maybe that you've come across that you are helping, but actually may in turn help you. They've got a different perspective from a thought process point, and they might be less literal than you. It might be a little more airy in the true sense. So be on the lookout for somebody like that. Either new to you or new to something you're working on. maybe a new person that comes back into your life from the past. But they've got a different insight and a different outlook. They're not going to look at it literally. They're going to look at it abstractly and truly from an airy sense.
That is too cool. It goes right with the moon, too.
It goes right with the moon.
So, Jockster, yes, the reading is very specific. I see, thank you, Paranormal. So what we do, and I probably should have explained this, is we ask him where he wants to read.
Oh.
And then sometimes it's just, most of the time it's just the two of us, but let's say Joy or Dragon Dance or any of those individuals who are physically here with us, and then we each pick a deck and pull a card for you. So we're going to do Joy now, and then you'll be up next. So you'll get 2 cards. If, like I said, if there were other people here, you'd get 1 card per person. That's kind of how we do it.
Who are we doing? Joy?
Joy.
And pain.
Sunshine.
She's never pain. She's always sunshine.
And rain.
In my opinion.
Oh, that breeze feels so good because it is stuffy in this house a little bit.
Tell you one thing, like our city literally was 100% without everything. It wiped the power grid, the utility grid, the cable grid, the internet grid, the phone grid, all the grids. And when you go without
Everything but the crystal grid.
everything but the crystal grid, when you go for a couple weeks without the basics, being able to take a hot shower, being able to have a light to see, just anything, it really makes you appreciate having those things back.
It does, and it also makes you appreciate the need to not waste it.
Right.
Like, we keep our air when we're home at 72. It's 77 in here, and I'm fine.
Yeah.
You know, we got to, sure, we have a fan on the window to kind of keep the breeze going, but is there a good breeze today? We definitely need to be better stewards of all this. This is also
Of our resources.
yeah, this is also giving our solar an opportunity to catch us back up.
Yeah.
Like, even the pool heat, we turned everything down. Joy, you want me to pull first or you?
It doesn't. Whatever you feel called to. Pull.
I'm already ready.
You ready?
King of Wands. There you go, Joy. You are in a massive creative process right now. You are creating to your heart's desire, whether you're physically doing it. You have so many things in your head right now that you want to put down into creation. You own that shit. But this is not the card speaking. We already know that. Like, that's not news. You don't need the cards to tell you that. But the King of Wands is often the representation of the person or the thing that is all knowing and all understanding of how creation is and how their creativity works both for and against you at different times. And so when you get to the King's doorstep, remember, court cards are people for me. This is a representation of you. But you are the master of your creativity. You are the master of what you're doing in your next step. The King of Wands is telling me that you just have so many things to put down. And when I say put down, I don't mean like stop. I mean to materialize into this world for others and for everything. Like, it's transmutation. It's alchemy. We're taking the stardust, right, that is firing the neurons in your head, that is causing your hands to be able to pull spirit in and then transform and create into the material world. And that's what the King of Wands does. The King of Wands shows up when you are in complete control of your career, your destiny, your life, and your creation. It is all things are exactly the way they are supposed to be in the areas of that fire, that creation, destruction energy. So this is definitely a time of creation, going out and actually, like, literally continuing that process. I don't know if you created a lot of stuff. We've seen that. But is there something new that you're really thinking about trying or doing that you want to, even if it's just one new thing within your already creativeness, but there's something that's needing to come out?
Huh. And mine is of the same suit.
Imps.
And I can say this much better than wands. It's 9 of imps.
It's weird.
And I see you up there in the front. You've got your jack-o'-lantern, and you've got several people in the back there, waiting, watching, observing, learning. And to me, that means that people are willing to follow and learn from you. So these people are paying attention. Some are looking off, some are looking forward. They're all focused in your direction. So you've got people watching, I would say they're ready to learn and receive information. So it's a sign to me from the universe just to keep on with any plans that you may have to teach, either a class or workshop or through community.
So it's like keep on keeping on.
Keep on, keep on. You've got people ready to watch and learn. I think that's a cool card. 9 of Imps.
Yeah, and
what say you?
When I picture nines, I think we've talked about this. Like I see them as the cyclical. You're nearing the very end of a part of your process, which I think is super cool. I think that's getting us to that point in that place of where the next step is coming. All right, Jockster, you are up. You are up next. Just give us a quick hello. Let me know what you're doing. We don't generally ask if you have a question, but if you do, you can certainly put it in there.
Yeah,
we
do
generally
you have a question?
do just general reads for everybody. But again, if there is a question, you can certainly ask it. Otherwise, we are going to work on getting you
Jockster
right here.
Well, alrighty, yep.
You know what else the King of Wands I'm just thinking about also symbolizes? The King of Wands also symbolizes collection of people, meaning pulling people together to create new things, and that's something that you're actually doing.
All the ways.
For sure.
Always, yeah. It's very good.
All right, Jockster. Hiya.
Hiya.
Hiya. Yeah. Hi, I'm Ivy Winters.
Ivy Winters.
This is actually a really cool deck. I don't think I had it last Halloween.
I like both of these decks.
I like big decks.
The imps and the bats. You like big decks.
And I cannot lie. Let's see if I can do a shuffle bridge.
Yeah.
Did it? You didn't even look.
I did. I saw it from my lower vision.
What did it look like?
I'm working on my lower vision.
What did it look like?
Like, whoop, they all collectively came together. Do it again so I can. Ooh, that's awesome.
I didn't do that one right.
Yeah.
So you don't even know what it. See, you lied. You don't even know what it looks like. And then you just rolled your eyes.
Did you see that?
All right, Jockster. Let's see what we got here. Knight of Wands. So we're definitely on a fire kick.
Huh.
We're on a fire kick. So I think this might be the first time I've ever pulled a card for you, Jockster, if I'm not mistaken. For me, court cards, which are your page, knight, queen, and king, in most decks. Obviously, there's other names for them in different decks. You have seekers and all these other things that are really cool. But for me, your court cards are representations of either somebody or you. When I'm doing a single card draw like this, it's just me, then my brain is going to make it about you. So this representation that I get is representing you. So you are the Knight of Wands. And the Knight of Wands is somebody who's at that stage where they have been learning a lot, and there is a level of confidence to do something, but at the same time, there's a level of reticence that you haven't actually experienced whatever that thing is. And so you're in a place where it's time to take a step into a new place and kind of going into a new feeling, into a new area, I should say. And you are prepared for it, but you're not really confident to take that next step. The knight in you is saying, yeah, it's time to go out to battle. We're like, but I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight. That's kind of the juxtaposition of knights. Your page, which comes before the knight, is the one who's like, oh, I really want to be a knight. This is so awesome. I'm getting started. I got accepted. I did all the pre-stuff. I'm doing really good. I got all this stuff to learn, and they're really excited. Once the page learns all of that stuff, then they become the knight, and the knight's job is to then start experiencing it to either become the queen or the king. So that's kind of how the general process, sorry, I should have given that to you. That's kind of how the general process for me works when it comes to court cards. So this is definitely a knight of wands that's saying, you know it, you've got the stuff together, it's time to take the next step. I know it's kind of scary, but you're ready. It's okay to go ahead and do it. And from the wands perspective, it generally would speak to something that is career related. So certifications, new job, new type of job, or a new area in your current job. Or it's related to some creative process that you wanted to try. Like you wanted to start learning how to do archery, or you wanted to learn how to do
axe throwing.
Axe throwing. Any kind of creative art piece or creation, or starting something new, and you're ready to do it. You're just kind of a little afraid, and this is saying you're ready.
And I pulled 2 of Ghosts, which is in the suit of Cups. And I just think you're going to get a satisfying relationship in the form of a new friend, a new connection to a current friend or person in your life. It could be a brand new person, but it's going to be that emotionally satisfying union or connection. 2 of Ghosts.
That is too cool.
That is really cool.
So perhaps a new partner in something that's going to be really helpful. If we read it as a continuation of the Knight of Wands, then you're going to be working with a new partner or somebody that you're going to reconnect with.
Yeah.
That's going to work through this with you. Starting development of first. Oh, cool. First time after years of learning. Yeah, that could be it.
Oh, cool. That's awesome.
So I don't know if you're doing it solely alone, but in the next iteration of this, there's going to be a partner probably that's going to do something for you. It may not even be actual game development. This partner may just support you in other ways, so that allows you to do this a little bit more.
I feel like it's somebody that's known that's going to resurface. I don't feel like it's...
Or just step into a new role, maybe.
Or step into a new role. I feel like it's going to be somebody known that's going to be in a different role or to provide support.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully that gives you some guidance and some direction, and that made sense to you. So, thank you very much for participating.
Thank you.
Next,
Paranormal
Witch. That is cool, Jockster.
That's freaking awesome.
That is fun. I want to know more about that.
But in the audio areas, that is awesome.
That is perfect.
Could be. That
and
could
think
be
about it.
one.
What does the ghost do? Ooh,
A
does the
ghost
audio in the back?
That's right. It's audible.
Sorry, I'm just making shit up
It's
now.
True. It's true. What do the cards say for
that is too
Paranormal
cool.
Witch? Queen P. Queen Paranormal. QP.
QP. You can do a first card on this one. Uh-oh, Finn's mad at somebody out back.
Somebody's mad.
There's a neighbor out.
All right, let me see. What?
They're all just they're talking to you, Paranormal.
I think I'm going to plan a trip to Texas in February, Paranormal. I've been way overdue. I haven't been since freaking COVID, since 2019, and I'm ready to come visit family and put my feet on home ground for a few days. So I'm probably going to plan a trip in February to Texas.
Texas.
Yeah.
Texas. We got one more after Paranormal.
And I see that they've remodeled the Labyrinth Paranormal. I saw on their Facebook page they've redone it. So that is a must to check out.
Yes, we have got to go there.
Best metaphysical witch, whatever kind of shop you want to call it.
Is it close enough to where you can walk around like in other areas and get like ice cream and stuff, or is that separate that we did?
No,
we did all that at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's close to, I think, is it
the pickle ice cream place or whatever?
It's a main area of Dallas, not Deep Ellum, but it's something like that where there's shops. And I think there's a voodoo shop over there too.
That would be too cool. All right, Paranormal.
Okay, let me see what they say for here. Paranormal.
Paranormal.
Ooh.
She's getting all the earth energy.
Wow, that is funny. So, okay. You're not the queen of the clouds. You've got a king of pumpkins in your life. Manifesting that physical stuff. Okay, I'll be serious.
Stupid.
So, king of pumpkins, it's there is somebody that's going to help you that's experienced and whatever it is you're working on besides the school, I don't know, but there's something that you're going to be working on, and it's going to have to do with mundane or physical things, prosperity. It could be money or possessions. It may be getting your car fixed. I don't know if it was damaged, and I'm glad you're all okay. But pay attention to who this is, because it may not be somebody that you expect. It could be a parent, it could be a friend, a teacher, a counselor, but they're going to help you through this has nothing to do with magic. It's going to be something that a physical need or a physical project. There's going to be a very experienced person that you're going to come across. You may or may not know them, but keep your eye out, because it'll surprise you that they're very knowledgeable in this area, or that they have the abilities to help you. So don't feel despair. Someone's there, someone's coming that's going to help you.
Yeah, Page of Pentacles. So you've got two Pentacles, or two Earth cards, I should say. Both of them Court cards. So that's telling me that there's a lot of people supporting you, or going to be supporting you in your life. Like things that you were not expecting, and people that you may not be expecting. Because the Page, like I said earlier, when we're talking about the Court cards, the Page is really I'm just getting into this, and I'm just getting started in this. So if the King of Pumpkins that Rook is reading is the mentor that's going to give you guidance, then that means the Page of Pumpkins, or Pentacles, or Earth, I'm going to call them Earth for this one.
Or
coins, is basically saying that you're the one that's going to be the page to that king. So that person, mind you, does not mean it is a male.
Right.
King does not have to be a male. And to me, there's no gender in tarot. People may disagree with that, but there's no gender in tarot. You know, the king is the perception of what is a masculine energy, meaning organization, standardization, boxing things in corners, control, strength, and that person is going to come give you some guidance and get you prepared for whatever it is that you need to do next. It could be something as simple as, like Rook said, if there's a damaged vehicle, then the king is going to come in and going to fix it and take care of that for you as something that is going to benefit you in your progress. So that's what I get out of the Page.
All right. Hopefully that helps.
And then
who we got?
We have unexplained
possibilities. And then I get through my favorite part of the whole podcast,
which is so weird to me that's your favorite part, but I like it.
I love it. It's my favorite part. All right. Stay tuned.
So unexplained possibilities.
I turned these all upside down. I did.
That's funny.
So, I had to stand for a little bit. My back was hurting.
Yeah, I'm with you. My back too. So I was like, let me stand up for a little bit.
It's getting a little warm, but boy, when that breeze comes through, it sure is nice.
I think we probably will turn the AC on for the afternoon, so that when we come back in, it'll be cool from work.
I can't believe that.
All right, unexplained possibilities. What is the first chord I have for you? Let's see what pops up. Yes.
Let's see what.
Four of Swords.
Oh, he gonna cut somebody. I'm just playing.
I just want to point out that this the skeletal knight on this has a chest plate, and the chest plate has like what so looks cool. Like titty tassels. What do you call those things?
It looks like tassels.
Pasties.
It
so
does.
Four of Swords. Thank you. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the Four of Swords. First and foremost, the Four of Swords is a rest card. As you can see, there are 1, 2, 3. It looks like 3. There's actually a fourth one. There's 3 swords hanging on the wall. 4 swords on the wall. 2 up, 2 down. There is symbolism in that, and as far as balance, because 4s are a very balanced card. They're a very structural card. 4 of anything generally speaks to a foundational point in your process. But with the swords, it's mental rest. You've had a lot going on. You've been thinking about too much stuff. You've probably maybe even had an increase in anxiety lately. Lots of things just happening in your head, and you're thinking about doing things differently. The Four of Swords says, put it down for a minute. Go outside, clear your head, just rest. It's different than grounding. Grounding is that centering process and grounding and connecting to the earth. The Four of Swords rest is meditation. This is a needed repose from all the thoughts and things that are coming on around you. And it may even represent people around you that are very anxious and trying to tell you too many things and coming at you from too many different sides. When in reality, you need to just tune all that out and kind of listen just to yourself for a minute. So Four of Swords, to me, always a rest and repose card. And it's the simple kind of rest, not this incredibly crazy, you know, all these meditations and blah blah blah. Meditation, yes, but I'm talking like trancing and all that stuff. It's just simple repose, rest, and relax. Take a break, stand your corners up, and go from there.
I have for you, Sir Melvin, the Two of Imps. You're going to come across somebody that's going to share your fire, that's going to share your passion, and it's going to be a really cool connection. And it's going to come up, maybe you know who it is, maybe it's happened recently, but just keep a lookout because they're going to share interest with you.
That's definitely a passion flame there in that picture.
It's going to be something that's just very, you're going to think it's very awesome, and it's going to be good, and just to share that bond or passion with someone else. And if it's something that you're working on, even better, because then you've got a partner to work on it. But I get this more of a shared passion type read, so that's always cool when we find somebody like that, right? A new friend, or maybe even somebody you know and didn't know they had the same interests.
Yep. Other thing to point out is both of these cards are even cards. They're 2 parts away from each other, so when you're showing a lot of evenness, that means things feel pretty decent, but you still need to take that rest. There's too much coming up or coming at you or is getting ready to come at you, and you need to make sure you have opportunity for pause there. So I hope that gives you some information or gives you some input. Yeah, that was fun.
That was a lot of fun.
I enjoyed that one. I really enjoyed the Jack-o'-lantern Terror. Like, I really was a little not sure about it at first. Give it a good couple shuffles. There is another couple tarot decks here somewhere that are Halloween related.
All right.
So, Rook is pushing me really hard because I haven't even put him back in the box yet to give him his little place.
This is my favorite part.
Yeah, dude, and it's not just physical exhaustion, man. It's mental rest. Like, your brain shut down for a minute before your brain tells you and shuts down on its own. Like, it will make you.
Yeah, you're going to need a rest. Wow. That's a lot going on.
For sure.
A lot of energy, a lot of thoughts, a lot of things. You'll need a rest. For sure.
They're going to just give us a minute.
Popularly known as the
where we will get, hold on, I'll need it to there. We're just going to check something real fast. And then we will be able to get moving if it'll actually catch up. Hope he doesn't crash my entire stream.
Can't believe that. So amazing.
That's what I wanted. So that you can have it here.
Can they all see that?
They can.
All right, so this is my favorite part. It's where we give shout outs and thanks and appreciation and recognition to the people we know. We'd love to add people onto this, so please check out all of these awesome creators, witches, and wonderfuls. Addie Estate on Twitch and Instagram, Mr. Malice on YouTube, and Addie Estate on Facebook and Twitter. Every Friday night, they do the Malice or Addie Estate experience. If I'm saying it wrong, please correct me. On YouTube with Mystic Salann. That's an awesome podcast on all things left-hand path, demons, Satan, and the such. From the Cauldron Witch on Instagram and From the Cauldron Witch Tarot on Instagram. Please follow Stephanie on Instagram at From the Cauldron Witch Tarot. She does amazing tarot reads typically on Sundays about 3 p.m. I believe. California time. Paranormal Witch on YouTube and Lady Rose 819 on Instagram. She does an awesome paranormal blog. Please follow and check her out. Unexplained Possibilities on YouTube and Unexplained Possibilities on Instagram. As you heard or saw in the chat, all the stuff that he's going to be doing this week, you've just got to check him out. Ziggy Dreadful on Twitch does some fun and awesome gaming. Queen Ziggy and Maeve, they'll also does games on Twitch. What were you saying?
Did you turn off the water?
Turn off the what?
Outside?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Before we even started.
Okay.
And we are Two Pondering Pagans on YouTube and Facebook, and Two Pondering Pagans on Twitter. I'm Rook Tempest. on YouTube and Rook_Tempest on Instagram. I don't have any videos yet on YouTube, but I'm working on that. And this is my partner, Mystic Salann, on Twitch, and Tallin, on YouTube. Don't look at me. I'm having a rough morning. And thank you, everybody, for spending part of your Sunday morning with us. We hope you're blessed and you manifest all you want for the week. Take care of yourself and be good to yourself. Most importantly,
keep it weird. That's from the Morbid Podcast. If you haven't checked out Morbid Podcast and you like true crime, best one you'll ever find. They have so much fun on there. Hope I don't get copyrighted for stealing that for the moment. But I'm just kidding.
Love you, Joy.
Hope you guys have a great rest of your Sunday. Get some shit done, and we will see you next. No, we will not see you next Sunday.
We will be watching Joy next Sunday.
We will do something next Sunday. Oh, last thing. We may do something on Saturday. May do something on Sunday. Don't know. But Sunday's service we will not be here for. But we will do a very quick. I don't want to say very quick, but we're going to do an after show in the Discord to discuss mostly books if you're reading them, if you want to, or anything for probably about maybe 15 minutes or so, because we don't want to stop that habit.
Morbid!
But we do have to go out and get a lot of stuff done. So with that, if you want to hop in the Discord, you most certainly are welcome. Let me do one thing. I will make sure that you have that Discord link. I think everybody in here does. I know Joxer, maybe you do not. I'm not sure, but let me get the link in here just in case. This is a open Discord for us, and you are more than welcome to hop in and kind of see what we do, because we do an after talk every single show. So click that link, head on over to the Discord. We'll be in one of the voice channels. You will see us there, and we will see you later.
Have a good week, everybody.
Have a good one.